Hi. What a day. What a day for a daydream. That song just came into my head. What a day today has been. My son and I are both taking a nap. My eyes can barely stay open right now. First of all, I didn't sleep at all last night. I made the mistake of downloading the Facebook app and logging into my Facebook because I wanted to find some videos of my daughter growing up and kind of create a little string them together and post just maybe a 5-minute video of just different moments of her growing up. And what's funny is everything was her singing. And everything was me behind the camera cringe, sing for me, do this, come on, sing, la la la, totally encouraging it and being a cringe, annoying mom. And I apologized to her today. I'm I am so sorry. I was up all night watching old videos, and I've done this to you your whole life. Perform, monkey, dance, sing, do, And she's like, yeah, you have. I go, I'm surprised you actually still love to sing. Man, I need to sit up. So technically I don't need to sleep on the couch anymore because I can go take her bed now. I mean, she took a mattress, but there's an extra mattress on the floor in her old room. But I wanted to tell you guys about my day today. So I got no sleep. I think maybe an hour because I had to take my son to work at 6 a.m. And I went and I donated plasma and the burp. We just had sushi, so that tasted like cream cheese and jalapeno and crab. Anyway, took my son to work, donated plasma. Came home, picked up my daughter, and then we all went to meet this woman who's been a huge support to us the whole time we've lived here in Texas. Well, not the whole time. When we came back from hiding, because we moved to Texas initially to just live life and hide, but I didn't really hide us. We went by our real names and stuff, and then my ex-husband found us a year and a half in, and my kids were forced on a plane back to him in Oregon against their will when they were 16 and 13, and cut off from me. They weren't allowed to talk to me or to their older brother or to anyone here that knew them. They completely were cut off from their life here in Texas. And my ex-husband paid people cash money to keep my daughter on their couch because he wasn't allowed to be near her because of abuse. So he paid people cash to couch surf my daughter around, who never wanted to be there to begin with. She wanted to be home with her mom and her dog and her brother, and separated her from her little brother. 7 months they lived like that. She orchestrated a getaway plan, an escape plan. This is a very tight little nutshell. So they ran away. I got a phone call, Mom, we're landing in an hour. Can you pick us up? So I booked it. I had a broken down old Jeep, so I had to borrow somebody's car to get to the airport to go get them. And I have videos. I've documented everything along the way. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, Miss Green. Okay, so I went to the airport, picked up my kids, then I went straight to the police station. Told them I reported that I had runaways, because they were technically runaways from Oregon to Texas. The sergeant was called out because it was 2 a.m. And because the cops on duty didn't know what to do. They go, we don't know what to do. We have to call our boss. So the sergeant came out and spoke to each of my kids individually. Then he spoke to me. He said, you have some really good kids. They have a really good head on their shoulders. Texas can't protect you. Run. He goes, I'm going to type up a report. I'll give you a case number. Email your ex-husband. Tell him the kids are with you and they're safe, and tell him nothing more, and give him the case number. So I did, and we went to this crisis center. I didn't want to go back to our old house or our church or youth group or my job. I didn't want to. Why do I feel like I look like I have a uniboob? I got a new bra, and it's not very, thanks Kim Kardashian, it's not very helpful. It's not very supportive. It's anyway, we're not going to talk about that. But so we just went to this crisis center, and we were there for a week, and they tried to help us. Like, we had an advocate assigned to us to hear our stories and to give counseling to the kids, and she typed up a 4-page affidavit to submit to the state of Texas for a protective order to protect my kids from their perpetrator, their dad. Anyway, the DA, district attorney, emailed back and he said, I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to you and your family. I wish we could help. We can't. We have no jurisdiction over this case. This originated in Oregon. And the judge in Oregon was paid off. This is the only thing that makes sense to me, because I can't believe I'm telling this whole story right now like this, but I'd gone to court in Oregon. I had taken my daughter to all the appropriate things. Like, things came up in her therapy. And I called an abuse hotline, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I believe my daughter. I believe this abuse happened. I have no proof. What do I do? And they told me to make a police report, take her to a children's advocacy center, and do what they say. So I did. Well, first of all, it was their dad's weekend, and I texted him, don't waste your gas, because I lived as far away as I could from him legally. I could only live like an hour away. He's like, you can't do that. I'm like, well, they don't want to get in your car and go with you, and I'm not going to physically force them into your car. You can drive out here and waste your gas, but I'm just letting you know. Sorry for the inconvenience. And then I took her to a children's advocacy center where they did what's called a forensic interview, where they took her, she was 14 at the time, took her into a room that was video recorded, with like 3 other women in the room with her. It was 3 hours. Her interview lasted 3 hours, and they checked her out, and they told me investigators would be in touch with me. And I don't remember how long it took, but eventually I got a letter in the mail from the Oregon Department of Justice stating she was a victim of a crime. You know what kind of crime I'm referring to, by multiple people on his side of the family. 7:07 on my clock. And also in that paperwork, it said all her therapy would be paid for till she was 21 years old by the state of Oregon. So I naively celebrated, woo, yay, you're free of that sicko. Like, you'll never have to go there again. You'll never be hurt again. It sucks, because when she was little, she would cry and beg me, Mommy, don't make me go, don't make me go. And I would say, suck it up, buttercup. It's only 2 days. I'll see you on Sunday. You know, he had 4 days a month with them. But 5 minutes is too long. 1 minute, 60 seconds, like any amount of time with a monster like that is too long. I didn't know. But it came out in her therapy, and once it came out, I didn't turn a blind eye to it. A lot of moms do. They can't handle the truth. They don't know what that means about them or their partner or whatever. In fact, my daughter's therapist was like, Susanna, don't fight this. Don't do anything. She's, I've seen it before. Don't put your daughter through this. The courts will not protect her. And I was like, so what, I'm supposed to send my kids every other weekend to maybe get abused? Fuck that. No. And I called the hotline, and then I did all the steps. And then I got the letter in the mail from the Department of Justice thinking that it was over. He would never get to be near them again. He went silent for like 4 months, and then took me to court and made me out to be the crazy. He politically, like, I used to be very like, it was during 2020, and I had read all the WikiLeaks, and I was very vocal about like conspiracy theory stuff, which actually is all coming true now. Actually, it's all out. Yeah, everybody knows now with all these Epstein files. So actually, I had a friend text me the other day. She was like, Susanna, everything you all the stuff that's coming out right now, you said all of it. You said all of it years and years ago. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And now I don't really care, because I care, but we have to care about just loving each other in the moment, everyday moment, not go down all these rabbit holes and get ourselves all worked up, But anyway, in court, he weaponized that against me and said that I was a crazy conspiracy theorist who believed in child sex trafficking, and I was projecting that onto my kids, brainwash them into believing they had been abused. I'm like, okay, well, where's the forensic interview, the 3-hour-long interview with professionals? Where's that? Why didn't that get presented in court? Why did my 14-year-old daughter come to give her testimony and the judge denied her a voice? Wild. It gets me all worked up still. So the judge wouldn't let my daughter speak or share her own story of abuse. Bravely, a 14-year-old willing to face these people. I don't know if you're following me. I'm all over the place. I didn't mean to tell this story right now. But the point is, well, the judge, back then in Oregon, the judge was like, this is ridiculous. I didn't even get to speak or give my side at all. That's why I think the judge was paid off. They just painted this picture of me to the judge that I was an unstable, actually in the court documents it says mother is an unstable Trump supporter who believes in conspiracy theories such as child sex trafficking. I'm like, that's not a conspiracy. Everybody, it's common knowledge now, but I guess in 2020 it wasn't. But that had nothing to do with my daughter being fucking abused. Like, come on. Let's look at the hard, cold facts and the proof and the professionals at the advocacy center, the investigators, the Department of Justice who determined my daughter a victim of a horrific crime. And you're telling me I'm crazy and that my kids need to go back to their dad for his weekend visits? Okay, judge. I'm not going to listen to you. You're going to go home and go to sleep fine. Sleep like a baby while my kids go back to get tortured. Fuck that. So that's what I said to my kids. Fuck that. Everybody gets one bag, pack a bag, and we're out of here. And I gave the maintenance manager a bottle of tequila, and I apologized to him. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Call 1-800-JUNK. I gave my best friend the key to my apartment. I said, sell it, donate it, whatever. She's like, are you sure you have such nice things? I'm like, I don't care. It's just stuff. It's just fucking stuff. It doesn't matter. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I have so much stuff. I have stuff everywhere. I don't really have stuff. But I mean, it's kind of a lot now that I have to move with like one suitcase. But it's just stuff. We'll accumulate more stuff. There's always more stuff to be had or found or hung on to or clung to. You know what I mean? I have so many like essential oils. I want to keep those, and my books. I have to let go of all my books. That's going to be really hard. I was supposed to sort through those today, and I asked my daughter, I'm like, I can't do it. I have to be in the right like mindset to let go. And I was like, Colton, will you take 2 boxes of books for me when you leave? He's like, 2. You get 2 boxes, Mom. Because I have like 8 boxes. Most of them are like Christian self-help books anyway. I don't care about those. I really want to keep like my How Not to Die, like in all my neuroscience books and like holistic health and plant-based stuff, medical medium. I have so many good books. Anyway, back to my story. So we ran to Texas, and then he found us, and the same judge, but now retired, was somehow in charge of our hearing, even though she had retired. I didn't get to speak. My kids had no say, 13 and 16. And she said, you think you're above the law? Well, you're not. Those kids better be on a plane in 2 days back to their dad, or you're getting charged with kidnapping. And the people here in Texas offered to like hide me and my kids, but we were like, no, we talked about it. We think the best way through this is to just get through it. Wrong, because he filed for like parental alienation, which means they were sent back to him with the intent of cutting them off from me forever until they're 18. And my counselor here in Texas, while my kids were sent back, he's like, Suzanne, my mom, my family, they're like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you in Oregon? You should be here with them. But my counselor told me not to. He goes, do not go to Oregon. I've seen it here before with the court systems. They'll treat you like a criminal. They'll treat you like you're the bad parent, or you're the unfit parent, and you'll get maybe an hour a week supervised visits with them. The best thing you can do is stay strong. You're the plug at the bottom of the drain, and your kids need you to stay strong and build a life here for when they do find their way back to you. You can't help them. It has to be their own idea, their own. I mean, I wasn't even allowed to talk to them on the phone or see them, like literally cut off cold turkey from my kids. 13 and 16. My daughter was suicidal in Oregon. There was like a crisis counselor or I don't know, somebody came out, some suicide person came out and talked to her, knelt down, looked her in the eye and said, nice try. You're lying. You're just trying to get back to your mom. Nice try. What the fuck? You're a mental health professional. School counselors wouldn't help my kids. My ex-husband's family did that. They knew the pastor of their church, like they're very, very, very fucking wealthy, like multi-millionaires. They like run the shit. They run the town. Very corrupt people. Dark family. But and sometimes I think the reason I had kids with him is because our children like redeemed the bloodline, That's what I think. I know that's kind of a crazy thought, but And even when I was married to him, I told myself that I was the salt. I was the light. I was placed in that situation to be a light. It was a very dark family. But anyway. So at church, the pastor literally spoke to the whole congregation, my kids' story, twisted, of course. And then after church was over, they pulled my daughter into a room, sat her down and said, if you don't forgive your father, you're going to burn in hell for all of eternity. This is crazy. I can't believe I'm telling this whole story right now. I mean, this is still in the nutshell. It's not the whole story. Pretty much is, but there's more I could expound on. But my daughter like ran out of the room. She's like, if this is who God is, I want nothing to do with him. But she loves God. But like she knew better. They even like the only job they'd let her work at was their own, because they own businesses, they own property, they own everything in that town. And they threatened to not give her paychecks until she agreed to talk to her dad or meet with him, like her abuser, like that's fucked up. And separated her from her brother. So all these people in power, all these professionals who chose their career because of their passion, 717 on the clock, because of their passion to whatever, when you're at the age of choosing your life path, you do it, hopefully you do it based on what you're passionate about or wanting to help others or be of service. So all these mental health professionals, school counselors, CPS workers, all these people who are pastors, like police officers even. My kids ran away at one point when they were first flown over there. They both stayed together with his sister, and she'd lock him in the fucking basement. My daughter's room didn't have like a lock on the door, so every night she would move the dresser in front of the door so she could sleep and feel safe. And she had phantom like movements from not having her dog. She had Charlie since he was a baby, and then ripped away from her mom, her dog, her older brother, like their youth group, like their life here. Which I know I broke the law, I left, but I wasn't about to send my kids to go get fucking molested every other weekend. That's crazy. So my life has been very unstable. Oh, so they were sent away from me, and for 7 months, no contact with me, but my daughter found a way. And I read her journal later, and in her journal, she's like, no one's coming to save me. No one's helping me. I have to save myself. And so she found a way. She saved up her money. Her brother was 45 minutes away in a whole nother town. And even then, they were an hour away from the airport. So she found a way to collect her brother, her 13-year-old brother, and got her 16-year-old self, her 13-year-old brother, got them on a plane and flew back to me to Texas. And when I got that call, I dropped everything, went and got them. I have that video recorded, grabbing them at the airport, the crying, the hugging, all of it. It's super emotional. I want to tell this better, but this is like the nutshell. Okay, I have 1 minute left. Okay. And then from there, the police, but then I felt like we needed to hide because he had endless resources. He could just cross state lines with whatever, and to take them because they were his property until they were 18. That's how he looked at it. Oh, and thankfully when they ran away, my son had recorded because his dad kept like holding him down and beating him up, and they got in a fight, and I have an audio recording of you can hear the argument escalating, and then pow, 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 pow. You can hear his dad just holding him down, and Colton crying, and you can hear him getting punched over and over and over. And the CPS worker here in Texas said, send me that. And she sent it to Oregon and opened a case against him, but I didn't stick around to find out what happened. We just disappeared. And so I made a fake Airbnb account, and I said, what do you want your name to be? What do you want your name to be? And we just made up pretend names, and we went by our pretend names and lived all over Dallas, Texas in random Airbnbs, a different one every month. I found a little Albanian breakfast diner, and me and my kids all worked there, breakfast and lunch. There's so much to the story, but we made it. We made it. What was the point of me telling all this? My daughter leaving. She's 20. She's healthy. She's strong. She's the strongest woman I know. I don't remember what the point of me telling all this was. But hopefully my story encourages you. If you're going through something similar, life gets good. Life gets good again. You're going to make it through. You're going to make it through and the sun will shine again.
You're my strongest inspiration, and I love you.
That steering wheel cover is so ugly.
There's no mountain I
It's from her other car. And that dumb orange.
and I thank you.
Oh, you ready to go on an adventure with your mom?
I'll be your best friend.
He's been watching her pack and he's been freaking out thinking she's leaving him.
I'll be your guide
I don't know how to do this. I'm just gonna.
Close the door.
whenever you need.
We love you.
I just drive away forever?
Yes.
Not forever.
Well, you're going to get your best friend. You'll see her in a couple hours. She'll be your emotional support. Look at Charlie. He's so cute.
I
Oh,
love you
I need gas. Oh my gosh, I'm out of gas.
You'll make it to the gas station.
I love you more and more and more.
Okay, updates, please. I love you.
Can't say
Congrats on the first day of the rest of your life. I'm excited.
my
Are you gonna cry?
addiction. You're my strongest
Oh, I
inspiration.
love her. 111. 111. Little tiny U-Haul.
It's true.
Why are you laughing?
There's no mountain I could not climb as long as you are mine, and I thank you for being you.
Wait,
Been
not out of sight
waiting for you all my life. You are my dream come true. You're the light in the dark, unsad world of mine.
I don't know if you can tell that I'm crying, but I have been. I love you. And I miss you already.